Hey, and welcome back to another episode of It's a Man's World. I am so happy that you are here with me again this week. Today's episode is so important. We're at the start of the year with some new goals, and I feel like it's a topic that maybe you're unsure about where to start. It's really going to get you thinking today. So I hope that you've been enjoying episode 1 with my own journey, getting to know me a little bit more, and then episode 2 with my guest last week. But today's topic is all about why your goals don't mean enough to you, and how I transformed my mind and life. Okay, this is super important. I feel like it's possibly an episode where you need to take out a pen and a piece of paper, hence what I have right here. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see me sitting here. If you are listening on Spotify, take out your notes, tap along on the phone while you're out on your walk. But it's not to scare anyone off. This episode isn't for that, but it is to really kind of wake you up, and it's to make you think. This is what I want today to be about. I am all about what gets written down gets done. So please today, take this episode as much value as you can. Take action. Action is going to be your key word today. But I think straight away, I spent so many years with so many goals in the back of my mind of I want to do this, I want to do that, and I never even said them out loud. And I think a lot of people are probably in the same position where some people may feel like it's too late, or some people feel like their time has kind of gone for something, but there's always something that you can be working on, no matter what age you are, no matter where you are in your life. And I just think it's so important to have those values and be so excited about the future and what you can create this year, because that's what life is all about. It's about excitement, it's about the journey that you're on, and you create that journey for yourself. But I did spend so many years kind of going back and forward with ideas and never went for them, and they're regrets that I have. So I just want people to know that you don't have to have those regrets and you can go for it all. A goal that gets written down becomes a dream, and that dream becomes a reality when you take action. That dream cannot become a reality unless you take action on it. You can say everything that you want to do in the world. You can tell people this is what I want to do. You can be a motivational speaker, but you have to be able to take action and go for these things, okay? So first of all, like, why do we set goals? We actually done a goal setting workshop with some of my clients a couple of weeks ago, just after Christmas, and I think it really kind of made people get thinking again. So write down as I'm speaking some ideas of what you feel like you could be setting this year. So it could be financial, it could be with your physique, it could be with your relationships, it could be with your job and where you're going with your career, it could be with your well-being, so meditation, stress, deloading, taking some downtime. These are all things. Self-care is another one. And maybe pick like 3 things. I won't go into too much detail, but pick 3 things today that you really want to delve into. Maybe it's financial, of what you want to save. Maybe it's a transformation. I need to lose some weight and I've really been putting it off, and your health is so important. So please, if that is one of your goals, do take action on that. And then maybe it's somewhere that you want to travel even. These goals can be anything, okay? But make sure they're big, make sure you write them down, because as I said, if they're not written down, they won't get done. Your mind is so powerful, and that's something that I've been really delving into a lot, and how it works and how we kind of perceive the world, how we look at other people, what people's opinions are of you, what goes through your head, because this is literally what controls everything else. Your mind will never give up before your body, okay? So your body will never give up before your mind. What you tell your mind is what your body will do. So it's literally just like a system that works that way. So I think even like David Goggins and things like that, like look at the amount that he has ran with those crazy injuries, and his mind is like literally his power tool. And I think even with people, say for example myself now doing a prep, like my mind will tell my body what it needs to do. And of course there is times where you may have to slow down, it will give up, but your mind is the thing that will control your thoughts, how you're feeling, anxiety, stress, what you feed your mind as well, the people you're around, your surround circles. So that's just so important as well. So where did this all start with me? So I feel like I wanted to prove a lot of people wrong, and that's where my goals kind of came from. I wanted to be like, no, I can actually do this, watch me go. And I think that I wanted to show up for myself. I wanted to show up and make my mom so proud as well. So they were the 2 key things for me, and I felt like I wasn't that smart, as I said in my other podcast, if you did listen to that. But I really wanted to kind of tick these goals off and be like, I done that, and inspire other people as well. I always want to help people, and I always want to be transparent here, and that's why I have like my notebook. I've got my notes here with me. But I do hope that people listening to this are taking inspiration and knowing like I'm sitting here now in my apartment recording this, and to be living here, it's just absolutely crazy. But I started listening to podcasts was how I kind of did start to transform my mind. I started reading books, I started journaling, so they were my first little steps to those goals and how I changed my mind as well. So I was never really a negative person, but if you do surround yourself with bitchiness, toxic and crap that goes on, you will naturally get sucked into that environment, and it drains your energy. Anyone that knows that, like, it's not a nice place to be. So for me, I just wanted to surround myself with good people. I wanted to take a little bit of a step back from, say for example, when I was younger, like obviously you go through different friend groups and stuff, but when I started getting into like my 20s, when I was like 21, 22, I started kind of realising that there was a little bit more to life, and time is going so fast. So I started kind of, as I said, listening to podcasts. There's so many out there as well that you can listen to, and sometimes they don't sink in, but reading, writing, taking time for myself, really thinking as well, that's so important too. And people think, oh my god, it's all in your mind and all listening to podcasts, but I can guarantee if you start listening to good positive things and learning about different topics, you will start like broadening your horizon, and you'll start listening to other things and kind of seeing things in different ways as well. But I feel like people don't value their goals enough, and I think that's why they're always stuck in the same circles. I have a few things that I've kind of taken note of here. So say for example, I'm just going to give you an example of value, okay, so with your goals. So say for example someone gets on for a consultation call and they're so raring to go, but they have a night out and they're going away to maybe Liverpool with the girls or something like that the weekend after, and they know they need to get themselves an outfit, they need to get their makeup done, they need to book this, that, but that is like on the top of their priority list, or even a night out is on the top of their priority list, and they don't prioritise their health and get started with a program because they're like, that can wait. So there you can see is where your values lie. So you would rather go out, have the night out, probably be down the next day, maybe you had fun, be broke, spend a load of money on shots, and then not have even got into the very first step of what's going to make your mind transform, what's going to make your body feel good. And that's so hard to get across to someone, because people think, oh, you're just trying to sell me with a program, but it's not. And I think as well, when you value your health and when you value your mindset and the people that you're around, everything else around you changes massively. A lot of people will go around in circles for a lot of their time, and they will come to 6 months into the year and they'll be like, I literally haven't still not done anything yet. So I think, as I said, take an action. You have to, if you have that goal written down right now in your notes, what are you going to do today to get yourself to that? Okay, what are you going to do? What is that first initial step? Maybe you need to ring someone, maybe you need to clear out your phone, maybe you need to take a little bit of a social media detox. Whatever it is, what are you going to do to get yourself into that very first position? Are you going to book a call? Are you going to cancel a few things that are coming out of your account to save a little bit of money to get on that holiday? What is it that's going to take that very first step for you right now, today? Because everyone can do something that will get you there. Results are a sign that something is working, okay? And that's the hardest thing for people to see. They set these goals and they're like, when am I ever going to get there? Saving money takes time. Getting the body that you want takes time. These things all take time, but when you start seeing results of like the small habits that you're building up every single day, it's like, okay, right, it's starting to work, and then you go for more and more, and that's when you'll actually get there. And to be honest, I don't even think getting there is a thing. I think it's just the journey that's the most, for me, it's the funnest part, it's the best part of it. It's not actually getting to the destination, it's what you learn along the way. And that's why my goals are so big, because when I'm on the way to that goal and that stepping stone, I'm learning so much about myself on that way. When you start seeing results, it becomes an addiction. And I have been listening to a lot of work on Grant Cardone, and he says that obsession is what did he say? Being obsessed is a good thing, okay? People think that it's like a really bad thing, being obsessed with something, like you shouldn't be too obsessed with that. What champion or athletic or business person that you know that's successful, that's a champion, that's a winner, isn't obsessed with what they do? You have to be obsessed with what you're doing, and that's what makes the best of the best, and that's what separates the good from the great. And I think what he's kind of says in his podcast, he literally talks about this and says how happy and successful people are so obsessed with their craft, what they do. They don't wake up every day isn't the drag, and that's what a lot of people are living their life like, but they don't have goals in place, so they're not running or sprinting towards anything at all. They're just living day to day, and that's why it feels so it feels meh. You're just not in the humour, you're tired all the time. Like working towards a goal in the gym, you know, girls, when you start working out, when you start seeing changes, when you start feeling good, fueling your body with the right food, you start feeling good. And that's why having a goal is so important, because you can lay out a timeline, you can work your way towards it, but it's the journey that's so important. When you get there, you're like, it was the whole process that was the most exciting thing. So if you haven't read his book, and if you do want to, it's called the 10x rule. It's really good. But I do feel like people think you're crazy, people think I'm mad with how obsessed I am with what I do. I literally get up every day and I'm like buzzing to start the day. I'm excited for what we're working towards. I absolutely love coaching girls. I love helping people. I love the community that we have at Fit Coach Rossi, and I just love helping my team become these coaches and sales team, and I just love all of that because I'm constantly learning as well along the way, and it really does excite me to be helping so many people. So I think when you've found something that you really do love, it becomes a walk in the park and you enjoy it every single day. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's enjoyable and it's passion, and I think that's what separates people that are chasing money all the time to people that are passionate. You can always see the difference. We're human, we smell bullshit. We know when people are bullshitting you and they're just online to make money. Great, but for me, I'm online because I love what I do, and I'm creating a community for people because I know I can make an impact and change their life, and that's what's important to me. I am so obsessed with my craft, okay? I'm so obsessed with my goals. And how did I get there? Well, that's because I started seeing results, and that's why I'm saying take action. So when you start writing these things down, you write your goals down, you take action. What's my step? Small step. Not how I'm going to get to the end goal today. How am I going to get there? Then when you start seeing a result, it becomes an addiction. Then you become obsessive. Then you become a master at your craft, and then it all starts molding together, and it gets a little bit easier as you go. But I do feel like even when I'm out and about and I've closed off the laptop, like I'm excited to get back to my laptop because I love it so much. And I think that's what, as I said, differentiates the difference between someone who is passionate and then someone who is just doing it to make a little bit of money. But how do you know if something is for you? And this is a question that I feel like needs to be addressed as well. So as I said, you should jump out of the bed in the morning, you should be excited, you should be energetic, enthusiastic. I'm not saying I don't be tired, because I do, but I get a coffee and I'm in the zone and I'm excited because I love it, I love what I'm doing. It shouldn't be a drag, like your workouts and your progress. You should love going to the gym, and not every workout is going to be great. You're going to be tired. Girls, we might be on our cycle, we might not be feeling it, but you want to be excited towards this. You should be energetic. You should be like, this is exciting. This is what's today going to unfold, and that's how I kind of feel every day. It takes years of trialing things as well. Like, remember, I didn't just become an online coach. I went through so many jobs. If you listen to the very first podcast, you'll know where my journey started and where I am today. And I think a lot of people feel like they should know right now what they want to do. And to be honest, you won't. And if it doesn't feel right now, you probably won't be in that job forever. And it's so good to trial things and see what feels good for you, what you enjoy, because that's when you'll find your passion, when you try out different things. And that's why it's so important to push yourself outside of your comfort zone as well. I have down here as well, I'm not actually going to go into that because it probably will be too long. I did want to keep today more of a written type of thing, or if you're writing it on your phone, as I said. But if you haven't set goals for this year, please today, please take 20 minutes to write down your financial goals of what you want to achieve or earn. Maybe you're saving up for a mortgage, maybe you want to buy a car, maybe you want to get yourself a new laptop, whatever it is. Travel goals, where do you want to go? Excite yourself, where do you want to see this year? Look at your physique and your body. Where's your health and your well-being at the minute? Do you need to meditate a little bit more? Are you stressed all the time? Do you need to wind down in the evenings? Have you got a little bit of anxiety? Why do you have anxiety? Question yourself all the time. And really kind of take time today to say with your career as well, are you happy in your career right now? Like, could you be doing something else, or could you go after a course or do something that you want to do? Do you want to change career? Do you want to ask your manager, can you get a raise? Or could you obviously have a career progression? Where are you going with things? Be excited about the future, because when you are, you're inspired every day to get up out of the bed and to work towards these things. And I think as well, you need to go with the wildest ideas in your head. You need to make sure when you write these down, they're not just basic. Go with big things that they scare you. They make you feel like, oh my God, I can't even say that out loud. People think I'm going to be mad. Because life is short, and I have down here, why be miserable and why live the life that your family tradition possibly or someone else says to do. Okay, so why do that? Why not live life on your terms and what you want to do? And this may be controversial as well. This could be something that may throw a little bit of people off. You might upset some people when you want to change career or go for something else. Maybe you don't want to be in the college course that you're in and you don't enjoy it right now, and you have a passion for art or dance and you want to go for it. Why are you not going for it? Because it doesn't make you money, because your family are doing this and they're saying you need that. Scrap that. You need to stop making other people happy, and you need to go after what you want, okay? And I can't stress that enough. You may upset people along the way, but ask yourself this today. What's worse? Sitting in your own bubble of regret and upset, fear, anger, or forgetting other people's opinions and setting the tone for your life with your goals, with your passions, and being so proud of yourself and happy in a couple of years or even months down the line when you look back and say, I done that. Because that's the reality. And if this has woke you up today, and if you feel like, oh my God, that has literally made me think, you need to take it today. You need to take today's episode and re-listen to it, write it down again and go for it, okay? I've had so many clients as well that are like, here, like your mindset and what you've told me has genuinely changed my life, and I love hearing that, and it's the best decisions people have made. I'm not saying change your career, I'm not telling you to do anything at all, but question yourself and say, am I truly happy, and what areas of my life am I not happy with, and have I set my goals for 2024? If it means enough to you, and this is so important, this is the very last thing that I'm going to finish on today, so take a few minutes to listen to this. If it means enough to you, you will take that first step right now after this podcast, and you'll be inspired. I really hope that today is after exciting you. I hope that you're after getting your brain thinking. I hope if you've came to the end with me all the way here, that you've got a feeling inside your belly where you're like, oh my God, I really kind of want to make a change. Will I go for it? Because if you're getting that feeling right now, that's your sign. If you're not, maybe you will when you're writing your goals down. Maybe you're in a position right now where you're really comfortable and you're happy. That is absolutely amazing. But could you be doing more? Could you be happier? I think we all could be. And if not, you will find an excuse, and that's how you know your goals don't mean enough to you. So if you are not inspired after this podcast, if you haven't taken the first step on your goals, and I mean even writing them down on a piece of paper, you will find an excuse. And that is why by the end of this year, you will probably be in the same position, with the same regrets, probably in the same body, still feeling the same way, and wondering why I didn't listen to the advice that was given, free advice by the way, in January from Ciara's podcast. This stuff to me gives me goosebumps, because I know so many of you are going to take action today. So please write those goals down. It doesn't matter if it's the end of January. Go deep into them. Take 20 minutes, get yourself a coffee, a cup of tea, and sit by yourself and think, where do I want to go this year? What do I want to do? Who do I want to show up as? And what goals have I set? And as I said, if you don't do this, you'll find an excuse, and that's probably why you are in the same position, and you might be. But I do hope today has really inspired you. I hope that you are ready for a new month coming ahead with February. And if you did like this, I would really appreciate it if you left a comment below, if you shared and screenshot this on your stories. It really does mean a lot, and I'm really excited for next week's episode again. But for now, thank you for listening to It's a Man's World podcast, episode 3, and here's to an amazing 2024. Go for all the dreams that you've got, write them down, take action, and remember my voice in your head for when you're writing that down on that page, and go big. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next one.